What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to episode 3 of getting this Land Rover built ready for our Spanish expedition in about 5 weeks. Today we've got the Wolfbox G900 Tri Pro camera system. We're going to get this installed and then we're going to test it out on the Spanish trails. Let's get it done. Right, so looking at the contents in a bit more detail, we have a wiring harness, a universal mounting kit, and then the Wolfbox display itself. So I'm only going to be using half of this universal mounting kit because we have a dedicated billet aluminium attachment for the Land Rover. So if you're fitting the universal bracket like I am, what you want to do is you have these 4 rubber points. We need to remove these and then that will expose the screws for this to go onto there. So just got a small craft knife and we're going to just peel off the black rubber like that, and that will expose all 4 of these small screws, which we will then use to put the universal mount onto. Really simple. He says. And now we need a screwdriver. Right, so after trawling your house for the smallest Phillips screwdriver, only then can you remove the screws. Right, so this is the universal mount that I bought for this Wolfbox. It's got a little ball system on it. That clips around the ball, and then that bolts to the back of the mirror, which then bolts into the landy like so. Just got to put the screws in. So what you want to do now is you've got these 2 parts that clip around to the ball. You want to put those together. Make sure you got your Wolfbox up the correct way. And then just screws into the back of the mirror like that. Super simple. You might need to get yourself some longer screws, like I have. So these here are the originals, and I've just gone for a slightly longer version just because they were only getting a couple of threads in, and you know, if you're doing any sort of off the trails or anything like that, you don't want it to start vibrating loose, because that will just be a pain for you. Now, of course, if you've got one of these Land Rover mounts, you can just take it off. It'll probably make your life easier. But I don't make a habit of making life easier. I would rather do it the hard way and complain about it later. Now, this is the part where I probably complain. Can I get the last 2 in? Yes. So I did this off camera. It was time consuming and janky. I didn't want to put a hole in my roof right now because I haven't got any grommets or any way to seal it. So I've done a temporary, probably permanent fix for the time being, where I've mounted it to this grill and just ran the cabling through. I might see if I can get something made here so it's like a permanent fixture, maybe like a metal plate that I can just have that straight to, so it's not so cruddy. But I mean, it'll do for the time being. But yeah, realistically, I should have drilled it into that, but maybe another time. So, got the front camera here. Very limited on where I can really put it on here. Sort of done is they come with these sticky pads. They seem pretty strong. Don't know how long it'll last, but that's on there. I'm just going to run the wiring back down through with my spotlights, and then we should have got sort of a waterproofed loom here. I will run that back with the spotlight cabling and then wire it in behind the dashboard. We've got the mirror already mounted up there. I've got the power to run into my fuse board just behind this panel. And then the rear camera, which again is on there, but it's not great. I need to come up with a better plan for this. And then I've got to tidy up the cabling that's run down the side here to the front. But being a Land Rover, this is a lot easier to install than probably any car, because I don't have any plastics to deal with, any interior trims. Mine's completely gutted. So now I just got to take this dashboard off again. Just trying to think of the best way of doing this. Probably this big panel actually. And then I've got to try and find an ignition live, because this fuse panel that's in here is run off my leisure battery, so it's just always got power, which I don't want this Wolfbox to have power all the time. So I'll just get in there and take all these off, and once I've done that I'll be back. Last bolt now, and then this panel should just drop out the way like so. As you can see, a little bit of a mess. Need to just have a quick tidy up again of in here, because we've been messing around with the lights, but I will sort that out. Up there is a fuse box, and I need to find an ignition live. None of this is going to be ignition, so I'm probably better off taking it from somewhere behind here. So gonna have to get the multimeter or fluke out, have a look. I kind of want to tidy up all of this as well, because it's kind of doing my head in, and it doesn't make light work when you want to diagnose something, especially when there's fuses and stuff there behind it for the lights. So I'll probably do that. I'll get this wired in and then I will come back. Right, so I've been off camera I've been trying to find a ignition live wire, because trying to mess around with a fluke, find cables, hold a camera and hold two prongs at the same time is pretty near impossible. So anyway, luckily for me, I've had this cable when I first got the Land Rover. Now this is an old ignition live cable that doesn't do anything. So all I need to do is I need to hook this cable on here, onto here, and that should give us our power when the key is switched on. So again, kind of a bit hard for me to put this on here and record. I don't really have anywhere in the truck to put the camera at the minute, but I'll do this, I'll be back, and then we'll see if the Wolfbox works. Right, so that's quickly wired up. That's all plugged in. Now, the final true moment, we'll flick the key and see if she works. Ba-ba-bam. There we go. Alright, well, apart from me apparently mounting the cameras upside down, got a sticker on there as well. So yeah, I just have to have a little adjustment. I obviously need to go in, turn around these cameras, because obviously I put them upside down like a moron. But I did not follow the instructions. So there we go. That is one Wolfbox installed. Thank you for watching. And hopefully if you install one, you might be able to install it a little bit cleaner. But I'm going to go around and tidy up everything anyway, off camera. But cheers for watching, and stay tuned for episode 4 when it comes.